Hi guys, in this video I wanted to discuss some of my thoughts on CrossFit. So those who aren't aware, this has almost been a bit of a love-hate relationship with pretty much anyone in the fitness industry who knows about it. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it, and I'm going to give my opinion. I think first of all it's important to address the possibility of getting injuries greatly increased doing some of the CrossFit workouts, doing kind of the big kind of skill lifts, cleans, power cleans, etc, etc, doing high repetitions based on time. You're certainly going to be at a higher risk of getting injured than, say, if you're doing a more typical strength training workout where you've got plenty of time in between your sets and you're really focused on good form, etc. But having said that, I think it's important to know that CrossFit is a competitive sport. So like football, rugby or any other sport, you can legislate perhaps some of its downfalls in terms of potential injuries because it's a competitive sport. So I don't knock people for doing it for that reason, because if you're competing trying to compete at the highest level you can, that's almost part of sport really, the potential for getting injured. So I don't really see that as too much of a negative if you're at a very competitive level. However, if you're kind of an intermediate or beginner, I do think that there could be lots of potential issues, purely also just the lack of structure in terms of sessions perhaps aren't properly periodised, etc. Having an absolute ranked beginner go through some of these workouts could be ridiculous. It'd be much more worthwhile, in my opinion, if their goals are body composition related, have more of a strength training program, very standardised, and then adding in cardio if and when required away from that weight training session, rather than just mixing in the two together. It's important to also address, I know the caveat a lot of CrossFit is maybe, oh, it's great for fat loss, but that completely ignores context, because you're not taking into account someone's food intake, their whole training regime over the week, because you can get just as good results following kind of a much more periodised weight training program, tracking macronutrients and calories, and then adding in cardio if and when required. So essentially you're just tapering calories and or increasing expenditure to get your desired result for fat loss, and then the weight training is just the foundation, trying to maintain as much strength and volume to hold as much muscle mass. So for someone to say, oh, CrossFit's better for fat loss, well, that isn't necessarily true. If you have a person doing CrossFit and then they're in a caloric surplus, they're not going to lose body fat. So it's important to give that little caveat. So I thought I'd just make this quick video. I personally think it's got pros and cons. In my opinion, I think you can legislate perhaps the possible injuries if you're at a very competitive level doing CrossFit. However, for the vast majority of people, unless you absolutely love it, I see other protocols much more effective in terms of getting to your goals, if your goals are body composition related. If you want to be competitive and go into the sporting aspect of CrossFit, then I think that's absolutely fine. So I hope you found this useful. If you like the video, please give us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Have a good day. Thank you very much.